opening up this. Oh, it had a nice sound.
It did.
Well, hey there, boys and girls.
Welcome. Welcome to another...
What episode is this? I'm losing count
is it
already.
3 or 4? This might be 3.
I think it's 4.
Is it 4?
I have no idea. To you, it feels like 400.
If you manage to sit through it all.
So
I imagine.
Our sponsor today is...
Crater Lake Rye Whiskey from Bend, Oregon. I do like Bend. Big ups to Bend. However, I'm a little terrified.
So do you want a little bit of ice in this? Ice?
No.
Ice?
Let's be scared.
No.
Let's be scared together.
I don't know that we need the heater today. It's really not that cold out.
Let's be scared together, shall we? But I don't want to waste it if it's going to be gross. Let's see.
Mine is not that. Still,
well, cheers.
Still no alcohol. Aww. That's so sad. That's not the way to start this. Let me smell it.
Yeah, sorry. Can I dump that back in there?
Not back in.
Just give me some, like, ice, a lot of ice.
Or I can get you something else.
I know, but I have to finish that. It would be unlawful.
Yeah.
Right?
Boy, I'm running out of ice.
Just fill it up with ice and I'll finish it and then I'll... Oh no, that's Jack Daniel's yours.
No, I'll dig something else out from the other room. How about the what's the name?
1792 that I saw.
1792, yeah.
Definitely.
That'll make up for this. But a proud sponsor today tells us that this show is going to be like all the others. Kind of sucks.
Not good. All right, cheers.
Cheers. Okay.
Do you have
I didn't start the timer.
Start the timer. 30 minutes. We're going to try to keep it to 30 minutes this time.
I just screwed up.
30 minutes.
Boom.
All right.
Wait.
Why is there 2 now?
I don't know.
Because you hit the plus to add another one. Just let it go.
All right.
So, down the cabana hole.
Down the cabana hole.
I got a doozy.
Oh, man. Well, let me get this out of the way. I got to get something off of my chest.
All right, let's get it off the chest.
Because I'm just tired of this fake news nonsense.
Okay.
All of this, it's like everybody is lying. Everybody, and it goes way back. And you know what I'm talking about? St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
It's a total scam. It is.
Why is it a scam?
Why is it a scam? Well, first off, he was not Irish. St. Patrick was not Irish.
Okay.
He was British. He wasn't Britain at the time, but yes, he was born in England. It was either Wales or Scotland. They're still fighting over that.
But which one? Was it Britain or Scotland or Wales or England? You said all of them, so I'm so confused.
Because these people were so confused. They were conquering so many areas, they just decided to call it a bunch of names on one stupid little island. Point is, he's not Irish. Number 2, okay, you know, the green beer and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It was actually a religious holiday, so there was no drinking. So if anything, right now, I'm true to form celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want to go down the true to form rabbit hole.
But it's not green.
But it's alcohol, simulating alcohol.
Well, the point is, they celebrated dry.
Okay.
And here's another one.
Okay.
Green has nothing to do with it because his color was blue.
Okay.
So why we celebrate with green? It's the whole thing is just.
It's a fucking Hallmark holiday.
No, this is hundreds of years old. This celebration.
Well, that's fine, but it's turned into a Hallmark holiday, like every other fucking holiday in this country.
Everything turns into a Hallmark holiday.
Yes. Cheers. I concur. Holidays suck. They're stupid.
No, I like some holidays.
They're all.
I love Christmas.
Turned into a Hallmark holiday.
I don't turn it into that. Best Christmas was when, because Christmas was always the same thing. It was the Christmas Eve was great. We'd go to Christmas Eve service, and it was a really nice, quiet service. Come home, just us and the kids, open a few presents, wonderful family, Puxatony, Norman Rockwell kind of moment. And then the relatives come over the next day. and so our best Christmas ever was the very first cruise that we ever did.
Because there were no relatives.
No relatives, no presents.
Ooh,
it
no
was
presents. I like no
because
presents.
that was the present.
Yeah, that's
And
a
it
good
was dynamite. And the kids actually got along. It was crazy weird.
That is crazy weird.
Yeah. And that, as a matter of fact, not that I'm trying to plug myself, Beach Bum Santa CD, very first song, Christmas Dysfunction. That is what inspired Christmas Dysfunction.
Nice.
We ain't got any bloodstained toys or kids making noise, yelling, "Dad, these presents are crap." No family saying, vote this way or believe this way in this religion or that. No perverted old man saying, once again, little child, sit here on my lap.
Ooh.
Well, come on, it is kind of creepy.
You
Santa,
know, that leads to my rabbit hole.
rabbit hole time. Okay,
So,
because we're going to try to cut this short.
all right.
So.
My rabbit hole starts with this.
Okay.
I was watching this 3-episode Discovery Plus thing on Warren Jeffs, our favorite polygamist.
On who?
Warren Jeffs,
Who's Warren Jeffs?
our favorite polygamist pedophile. The leader of the FDLS church, who's in prison right now.
Oh, wow. I didn't
What do you
know
mean you've never heard of that guy?
that. No.
He's like
FDLS. What is
the
FDLS?
fundamentalist Latter-day Saints.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
polygamy guys, right?
Polygamy guys.
So, anyways, my rabbit hole starts with the story that I'm watching is about his 65th wife and basically her story, and how she got out and what was happening during these times. Well, they show these clips, and they have the audio recording of Warren Jeffs talking to his wives, and I don't know it clearly, but essentially it's like, as a wife, you should lean on your husband for guidance and expect him to treat you with respect and lead you in a great way, blah, 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 right?
Right.
So he was using this to manipulate everyone, right, to be a pedophile. But if you take the words as they're written without context,
Right.
is he wrong?
Right.
Is he wrong?
I'd have to know the words. Well, any pedophile is wrong.
Well, true. But
We're gonna settle that right.
we're going to settle that right now, 100%. But the words about, I'm assuming he took it from the Bible or from from the whatever. But
Yeah, it's called the Book of Whatever.
well, I was thinking the
The Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon,
Yeah.
But like, if you take the words and leave all the context and all that stuff aside,
Right.
he's not wrong.
Right.
So that led me to thinking, I saw this video of crazy Kanye West, and he was, and I know he's crazy,
Yeah.
but he was talking about how he believes, right, the whole reason why he got canceled is because he believes, specifically Jewish people, but more importantly, that people are using and oppressing black people
Right.
and oppressing artists and musicians and Hollywood stars, right, to puppet master.
Right.
And so what he said is that black people in particular, right, if Google was around 30 years ago and they searched Black Panther, they would probably get images and videos of the Black Panthers, which his father was a Black Panther, feeding the neighborhood kids and sticking up for the neighborhood and something that you could be proud of.
Right.
And what has happened is they've turned the term Black Panther into a superhero written by white people that is completely ridiculous for erasing the original Black Panther history.
Right.
Because now when you search Black Panther on Google, you don't see any of that.
Yeah.
Right? And then he talked about how, February is Black History Month, and all they talk about in Black History Month is slavery, and how you used to be a slave. And what he says is that they're brainwashing weak-minded, he didn't say weak-minded people, but I believe weak-minded people, that's all you are as a slave by ramming it down your throat.
Right.
Now, Kanye might be crazy, but is there some truth to what he's saying?
understand what you're saying. Because someone can be crazy and still say 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
A fact is a fact.
So,
Something that's true.
but
is true.
people often just disregard what people are saying because they don't like them.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if all those things are true,
Okay.
is there a difference between those people and Apple manipulating you through their TV commercials to buy their products? What's the difference?
Well, everybody does some manipulation. I mean, when I first met my wife, there was some manipulating going on. I'm trying to make sure that I look better than I really look. So I had to wear a
But
mask.
is there a difference? Is there a difference between putting your best foot forward
No, I understand.
and manipulating the
No.
masses to do what you want?
No, that's two different
So
things.
Warren Jeffs used his position as a prophet
Right.
and used the words of the Bible to manipulate people
Right.
into doing what he wanted.
Right.
Right?
Well, but it's not just those words, though. That's part of it. That's like, okay, here's our foundation. But it's all the other. When you get into people that have become manipulated and just verbally abused, not even physically.
Or psychologically.
That's what I
abused
mean.
more than
Psychologically
yeah.
abused.
But what's the difference between that and you being bombarded with TV commercials
Yeah.
about Nikes, and now you like feel compelled to go buy a pair of Nikes when you need shoes?
It's confessional time.
What's
now.
the difference?
It's confessional time because how many shoes do you have?
Well, I'm just using that as an excuse, like,
I know.
or as a like it could be anything,
You
right?
don't want to share that, do you?
No, I have over 60 pairs of shoes, but they're not all Nike, to be fair.
Oh, okay. A few Adidas.
No Adidas. Sorry, I don't have any Adidas shirts, so I can't.
What's another shoe?
I have Columbia shoes because I have Columbia like jackets, and
Okay. That's a Nike jacket.
I'm wearing Nikes.
I got a Pendleton.
Yeah, whiskey. Like that's a lot better. I can't finish that.
Okay. Next glass coming up.
So what's the difference?
Well, okay.
Other than like you're not like abusing people, but for people that can't afford it, and you're manipulating weak-minded people into thinking
to buy those products.
to think that if you it, then you're not it.
Right.
Evil.
Well, yeah, it is a form of dishonesty. It's a form of dishonesty. So, I mean, I don't do that with my business. I don't think. Now that I think about it, maybe I did. Let me get you some good whiskey.
All right. So this is what I was thinking about.
A fresh, unopened, dusty
Oh, it is dusty.
bottle.
Nice. It is open though because
Oh, is it?
at least the plastic was taken off.
Huh.
Oh, 1792. How I adore
This is the
you.
foolproof.
I love you, 1792.
It's a very good one. It's a very good one. For something that is stronger than normal, it has a very good flavor still.
So good. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, so what's the dilemma with why you're bringing this up? Is it that you're trying to...
It's not a dilemma. It's a
It's
thought
just
exercise.
Right, okay.
We're going down, like, so
Going
I
down
was
the rabbit
watching
trail.
Warren Jeffs, and that led me to think about, well, is what he's saying true? I mean, he's an evil bastard, right? But there are some things that he said is true. Kanye West is crazy. Some things he said is true,
Right,
right?
right.
Then that led me to think about commercials, right?
Yeah.
Like manipulation and population control.
Oh, yeah.
And
Is
is it all evil, or are there degrees of evilness based on what?
Well,
What's the?
Okay, here's something that is in the similar vein that I've never understood.
Okay.
That bothers me is when. Okay, Julie and I were both Christians, right?
Okay.
And so that's what we portray to our kids. Yet you'll get somebody else who says we're brainwashing our kids. Yet you saying there is no God, you are also brainwashing your kid. You're just brainwashing your kid the way you want your kid brainwashed.
100%.
That's what we're supposed to do as parents, is lead them down the right path. But the difference is we're supposed to lead them to a point where they're then on their own and they're making their own decisions from that point on.
So then
But
really,
I don't understand why I get the rap like I'm a brainwasher just because I know that there is a God and somebody else
because
is not a brainwasher.
because
when-
the somebody else doesn't have the right brain power to articulate why it's not okay for you and it's okay for them. They like, here's a good example, down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
I saw this, Bill Maher was talking about abortion, right? And he said, and he was arguing with someone, and he said, if you're a damn it, now I'm gonna ruin it. If you're pro-choice,
pro-choice.
it doesn't mean that you're a murderer. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're a murderer. But on some level, if you're having an abortion, you are committing murder. And Bill
Yeah.
Maher said this.
Yeah.
You're committing murder. The difference is I'm okay with that murder.
Right.
I can be pro-choice because I'm okay with that murder. But for me to say that technically it's not murder is preposterous.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I think that's the difference, where someone is telling you that you're brainwashing them, and when you say, well, you're brainwashing them the other way, and they're like, oh, that's completely ridiculous.
Right.
They're not articulate enough and smart enough to understand that they are, and they're okay with it.
So now you're saying it's just because there's too many idiots,
Yes, 100%.
which is
And that
basically what
leads back to
the teachers union in California that is saying, oh well, you can't let these parents have vouchers where they can choose their school choice because what kind of degree do they have? They're not educated like we are. And this was their
that was our
argument.
argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, obviously I'm paraphrasing, but that was the argument. I'm smart, you're dumb. Matilda. I'm big, you're little. I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm right, you're wrong.
But
Now
that,
here's the difference. Point is there's a difference between brainwashing and trying to convince someone. I think there's a difference.
Yeah, if you
Brainwashing
convince someone-
uses psychology or physical means to break down a person's character or will, so that you then can mold their brains. I mean, that's the biggest difference.
So theoretically, what you're saying in this discussion where you're preaching God, right, and someone else is preaching no God,
Right.
right? The correct answer would be that instead of teaching about God or teaching about not God, you should be teaching your child to critically think of information
Oh, absolutely.
and then letting your child decide what they believe without your influence. Now,
You still need to have influence.
no, if you just take it.
Because they're getting influence from all kinds of commercials.
Sure, but like
Games,
in
friends.
an ideal,
Yeah.
bubble,
yeah.
right? You would be teaching your kids critical thinking and looking at all angles and getting all of the information before you decide. Now, obviously, that can never happen because nobody lives in a bubble, right?
Right. Now,
And so for you to choose to influence your children in things that you believe is fair as a parent. You created this. This is my personal belief. You created this. You're free to do that, right? Whether I think you're right or wrong, I'm not going to tell you whether I think you're right or wrong.
But you can't say that just because I created it, because I can't abuse my child. That's not my right.
Well, I mean, if you go back to the 50s, what did mothers used to say? I brought you in this world, I can take,
you out. No, but there's some legitimacy to that.
What's the difference between taking them out and brainwashing them?
Right. Okay, you know what this kind of reminds me of too? This other funny thing that I read a long time ago. I have no idea what time it is. That's all right. When it beeps, we'll know that we'll have another 30 minutes to wind down.
Okay.
I read this deal. It was so long ago, I don't remember the king and the nation that did this, but this is centuries ago. This is way BC.
Okay.
They wanted to know what is the original language. What is the original language that we should have? So they took this poor child and they raised him away from people so that no communication or anything, no one talked to him.
Okay.
This kid's growing up. Now, this was BC times. They did things like that, and he made these utterances in his communication when he was older. And they finally figured it out. It's because he herded sheep, and that was the sound he heard all the time. So that's what he was doing, is just baying like a sheep. It's like, wow, that experiment worked good. You'll be fine, kid.
I don't know about that. I heard this other interesting thing. I heard this woman who I've seen, like scrolling through Facebook Reels or whatever. Very conservative woman. Really likes to bash liberal women, which is okay. I mean,
Okay.
listen. I like to get, all types of different points of view, and then make my own decision.
Yeah, that's good.
So she was talking with. Now, of course, these are only clips, right? So I gotta want to go find like the whole discussion, right? But the clip was essentially some liberal women were saying how oppressed they were, right, by men.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because that's the like,
That's the line. That's the go-to.
That's
We're
the go-to
oppressors.
line. Yeah, we're oppressors.
Yeah,
So
that's
she
why I
said-
say yes, dear.
So she said, okay, when a man and a woman get married, let's all agree on what the man really wants out of the relationship. Let's all agree. And what did they agree on? What do you think?
Food and sex.
Okay, well, sex. So you got it. So she said, okay, if men want sex,
Yeah.
what do women want?
Security.
Security,
Right.
commitment, right?
Right.
Coming home every day. They're going to be there no matter what, right?
We're going right down the path I offered to my wife once a long time ago that she didn't agree with me on.
And she said, you think you're so oppressed. 3/4 of all marriages are sexless.
Oh man.
So the women
That
are
wasn't
getting
where we went down.
the women are getting their commitment and their security, and the men are getting jack shit.
Jacked off.
Not even that. It's completely sexless marriage. So who's the oppressor?
Yeah.
And the ladies were like, yeah, shut the fuck up.
No. Okay, so here's what I don't.
That really made me like,
Oh well, here let me tell you how I presented this to my wife. Whoever's texting. I don't know.
somebody texted.
I don't remember what the situation was that we were doing, but she was concerned, about if I do this, well, can we afford it? Are the finances and somewhere in her conversation she said, yeah, because if we've got the money and if everything's fine, then yeah, you're good. I don't care. And I go, okay, so wait. So basically, what you're telling me is that as long as I am meeting your needs, I can do whatever I want. She goes, well, not whatever you... No, you just told me a little bit ago, as long as I'm meeting your needs, I'm giving you affection, I'm taking care of the rent, I'm taking care of everything, so I can do what I want. And she mentioned, she goes, well, you can't have an affair. And I said, oh, but I'm taking care of you, and that's between me and God. That's a different issue. And because I said, look, when you really get down to it, yeah, I want sex, you want security, that's a form of prostitution. And so that is just kind of a mind blower, because I don't consider her that way.
No, that would make you the prostitute.
No, her. Because I'm paying her
Are you?
by taking care of her and paying for the house and all that kind of stuff. And she's, fulfilling my Mr.
Yeah.
Muscle needs.
Yeah, Mr. Muscle.
That's his name.
I don't need to know that. I'm pretty sure the YouTube folks, the 3 people on YouTube don't need to know that.
3, now 2. So it is kind of funny because generally, obviously it's a generalization, but generally, if a guy is well fed and Mr. Muscle is happy,
Yeah.
it makes a big difference. But here's the problem: is that there are just, in my opinion, there are way too many jagwagon guys that don't love their wives to the point where it's sacrificially her needs before mine.
what's the sacrificial line?
If I am thinking of my needs, then sure. And this was a problem that a lot of guys fell into. My dad, one of them, is he never said "I love you" to my mom. He paid the bills. He worked hard. He took care of. That was how World War II generation said "I love you."
Yeah.
But that's not really thinking sacrificially. That's just like, I got these boxes checked, I'm done. You know what I mean? It's not thinking of her and her needs and putting them before your own needs, which is very hard to do. Because, let's face it, we're very narcissistic. We like ourselves.
I think it's easy.
Or maybe it's just me.
I think it's easy when you know what the sacrifice is and when you choose the sacrifice.
That is true.
Right?
That's true.
The problem is...
Communication helps.
The problem is when there's little to no communication about what's really going on, right?
Right.
And the other thing is then if you force someone to make the sacrifice versus them deciding to make the sacrifice.
Yes.
Right?
It's not a sacrifice.
So it's one thing if, a wife for some reason is unable to have sex and the man sacrifices by saying, I know you can't do it, but if you could, you would. So I'm willing to not go fulfill those needs elsewhere.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Versus the woman saying, no, I'm just not that into you. But yet you're going to continue to keep your commitment to me. That's not a sacrifice for him. That's a bitch move by the wife. I don't know what else to call it, right?
But my point is that I really think that the guys could step it up. That's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree. And I actually think the component of sacrifice is a good thing.
Yeah.
And will be perpetuated if it's acknowledged. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's another problem, is that when someone sacrifices and the other person sees it and just doesn't acknowledge it, then that deters future.
Right. It's funny because this ties into the sermon. not meaning to go Sunday school on you, but
you're going Sunday school for sure.
But because there's the section in Colossians talking about everybody is submitting to somebody, to some authority, and what Paul is saying is, it doesn't mean that authority is going to be right, but when you are submitting to that authority as though you're submitting to God, then it changes the equation. Yeah, I might get screwed over by you, but I'm not getting screwed over by him. And so, in the end, it works out great. Because he wrote, submit to your leaders, your rulers, back when Nero was the boss. This dude got beheaded.
Yeah.
So, it's not like we can go, well, what about my rights?
And that leads to this other thing that I saw where, now obviously this has a complete religious overtone, not even undertone, but overtone, right? Especially talking about hyper liberal women. Like, they will submit to their boss, they will submit to the cops, they will submit to society, they will submit to their friends, peer pressure, but they won't submit to their husband, the person who has sat there in front of God and said, I will make you everything that I am, blah, 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 blah. Right. And you won't do that, but you'll listen to your boss and be there right when your boss says and do exactly what your boss says. Right. That's fucked up. Fucked up.
But we do that to each other as humans. We're kind of messed up. It's amazing how messed up human species really is. Animals have got it pretty good. They just have their function, and they do it, and that's it. Eat, hunt, eat, sleep.
That stupid, conscious thought.
Oh,
sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks. I want to be a baboon.
You just want to show your butt.
And throw poop at people.
Okay, so if you could come back as an animal.
Ooh.
What would the somebody mentioned this to me a while back, and I said shark because like a great white, he just doesn't get messed with, and it's like okay, yes, orcas do mess with great whites, so maybe orca would be better, but they're just like king of the domain. They just do what they do, and
they just
and they don't
go
get messed
around
with.
eating plankton. Ooh, super fun. I'm just gonna go around the ocean and eat plankton.
White sharks
Ooh.
don't eat plankton.
No, you said orcas.
Well, yeah, they eat meat.
Oh, that's true, orcas. I was thinking of the other whale.
Yeah,
The big one.
like almost every other whale.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna just go around and eat seals. Ooh, so fun.
Oh, one of my most favorite videos, I'm sure you've seen it, where the guy caught it on beach. All the seals running out of the water.
I've seen one
and
like
that
that.
one seal pup and that killer whale comes out onto the beach, grabs that little seal pup, and just thrashes him as he's working his way back into the ocean.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be pretty cool. But what about a camel?
Camel would be good. You get to spit on people.
That's right. You get to spit on people. And you get to carry shit. You're useful.
Yeah.
Helpful.
You have a purpose.
You have a purpose.
Yes.
Plus, I just like spitting camels. They're awesome.
Well,
Monkeys
llamas.
are cool.
I
I
bet.
don't like
Do
llamas.
monkeys spit? I bet you they do.
Ooh, let's see what the Google says. Is there a spitting
The
monkey?
Google. A spitting monkey. Spitting cobra.
Monkey?
I wonder if that's. What was the cobra that we saw in Boma? We were pulling out some rocks to make this trail, and there was I think it was called a spitting cobra.
A male or
Uh-oh. What did we find?
Oh, Urban Dictionary.
Oh.
Under spitting
No.
monkey.
No. We don't. I don't
A
want to
male or female who masturbates while window shopping for prostitutes in Amsterdam. That Amsterdam
What?
spitting monkey is outside the window again. A male or female?
Yeah, no, I heard it. Oh man, we can't end,
We can't
on,
end it
that.
on that.
Oh, that's so pretty. La. Okay, we didn't need Urban Dictionary.
I don't be a spitting monkey, man.
Nuh-uh.
That's kind of gross.
Kinda? No, that's gross. That's gross.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who you are. Maybe you
Urban
like that.
Dictionary has lots of gross things. Not that I go there often.
My brother likes
But-
to send me gross things like that.
But sometimes I'll hear something.
Yeah, and you have to figure
It's
out
like,
what it is.
What are you saying to me? And then I'll look it up, and usually that definition comes up with the title of Urban Dictionary. It's like, oh, okay.
So
it's slang.
speaking of the dictionary,
Speaking of,
are you one of those snobby, like, Oxford English, nothing should go in the dictionary except for old English words? Or are you a proponent of, if it's said enough, and most people know what it is, then it should be entered into the dictionary?
boy, that's a tough one. I go back and forth on that because, okay, let's face it, language is something that evolves.
Yeah.
What I don't like is getting things redefined, and so
Well, but if people are like gay, right? Like
Right.
gay meant happy,
Mhm.
right? And somehow, I'm not sure how that turned into like homosexual men.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how
the
that
genesis
happened.
of that either.
But I think it's pretty clear if you call somebody gay, you're not calling them happy anymore.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so adding that definition in the dictionary as something.
It's important.
Well, I mean, you know, and
Yeah.
marking it as potentially derogatory makes sense.
every year they put in new words that you kind of go, oh come on, that's just something that is a passing phase right
Is it?
now, or something stupid.
Is it?
I'm tired of people saying stupid stuff.
Have you met 98% of the people in this world? Have you met me?
Okay, we're gonna do that one. Just going straight squirt now. Before it was squirt and some fruit juices with a little bit of
Lame.
hey.
Hey, there's some 1792 foolproof.
I know.
Mr. Lent boy.
You know what's amazing is it's not calling me. You know, I
Oh, so you're not an alcoholic. Good for you, buddy.
yeah.
Were you worried?
No, I think my wife was.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You've used a framework of God, of
Oh,
religion.
yeah, that's right, because this was Lent.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
that's more religious than God. But
framework of
it
religion
depends on how you do it.
to show your wife you're not an alcoholic. Congratulations.
Can't wait. I'm going to get smashed on Easter.
On Easter. Well, I should be doing a bunch of pulled pork on Easter.
Ooh. You should come to our Easter service.
Ugh, come on, man.
I will keep trying.
I know you will. And I appreciate,
Man, there's dust on that.
I do appreciate it in
Yeah.
a weird way.
In a weird way. Just like when you're a spitting monkey.
Come to my church, you spitting monkey. I'm sure that's what Pastor Matt wants. Hey, look outside the window, little girls.
Oh, no. Let's.
There'll be no Warren Jeffs here.
Yeah, no. We pulled those verses.
We should probably end it.
Probably should, but we need something pithy. What is our lesson today? Okay, our lesson is don't cut someone off just because they're a jackwagon. They might have a valid thing to say, a point. Then cut them off, but
Yeah, I think the important thing, boys and girls, is that take the words and if it makes sense without context, evaluate it not based on who said it,
right,
but on the context that you use it.
right.
I think that's fair.
Kind of like you've seen those street interviewers where it'll go on either side, where they say, "Oh yeah, you know, President so and so said this and this. And, oh man, that's horrible." Well, actually, it was the other president that this person voted for. It's like, oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. You know, some things are just they're true, no matter
who
if
says
you're a
them.
jerk that needs to be locked up and the key thrown away. 1 + 1 is still 2.
Cheers. 1 + 1 is 2.
Cheers.